Welcome to Scorpio Moon Astrology. Today we're taking a look at Chiron's move into Taurus and what this long-term transit may mean, both collectively and personally. On June 19th, Chiron leaves Aries for the first time since 2018 and enters Taurus. While inner planets change signs regularly, Chiron moves much more slowly. This small body takes roughly 50 years to orbit the Sun, spending years in a sign before moving on. Because of its unusual orbit, Chiron's sign changes often mark significant shifts in the collective themes we're working through. But before we talk about Taurus, let's talk about Chiron. Discovered in 1977, Chiron was the first object identified in what is now known as the Centaur class of celestial bodies. Orbiting between Saturn and Uranus, it blurs categories. It has been classified as both an asteroid and a comet, and its unusual orbit helped astronomers realize they were looking at an entirely new class of objects. In astrology, Chiron is named for the wise centaur of Greek mythology. Unlike the other centaurs, Chiron was known for his knowledge of medicine, astrology, healing, and teaching. He trained heroes and served as a mentor, yet he carried a wound that he could not fully heal himself. From this myth comes Chiron's modern astrological meaning, the wounded healer. Many astrologers view Chiron as a core wound that follows us throughout life. In evolutionary astrology, some believe this wound may have roots in experiences carried forward from previous lifetimes. Others see it as an inherited or ancestral pattern. Whatever its origin, Chiron often points to themes that seem to repeat throughout our lives, particularly when they are reinforced by childhood experiences. This does not mean we are doomed to suffer forever. Rather, Chiron describes an area where life repeatedly invites us to grow, learn, and eventually help others navigate similar terrain. Since April of 2018, Chiron has been moving through Aries. Collectively, Aries asks questions about identity, independence, courage, and self-definition. Chiron's journey through Aries has brought many people face to face with questions such as, who am I? Do I have the right to take up space? Can I trust my own instincts? Am I allowed to pursue what I want? On June 19th, that emphasis begins to shift. As Chiron enters Taurus, the focus moves from identity to value. The question is no longer simply, who am I? Now we begin asking, what am I worth? Taurus is concerned with security, resources, stability, comfort, and self-worth. Chiron's movement into this sign may bring collective attention to the places where we feel uncertain, unsupported, or disconnected from our own value. For some, this may show up around finances or material security. For others, it may involve confidence, self-esteem, or a deep-rooted belief that they are not good enough. Experiences of poverty, scarcity, criticism, emotional abuse, or instability can all reinforce these themes. As always, Chiron's expression will be deeply personal. The house containing early Taurus in your chart will show where this transit is most active. If you have planets or angles near 0 degrees Taurus, you may feel this shift more strongly than others. What makes this ingress particularly interesting is the sky surrounding it. When Chiron enters Taurus, it has already separated from much of the powerful Aries activity that has dominated recent months. Yet Saturn, Neptune, Vesta, and Pallas Athena remain in Aries, continuing to ask questions about identity, purpose, and vision. Meanwhile, Jupiter and Mercury have joined forces in Cancer. Cancer wants to nurture, protect, and care. Jupiter amplifies those instincts. There is a strong desire to heal, support, and create emotional safety. Yet Chiron's entry into Taurus complicates the picture. When questions of worth surface, it can become difficult to trust our own ability to help, nurture, or lead. The challenge may not be, who am I? The challenge may be, who am I to do that? Adding further pressure, Chiron begins moving toward a square with Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto continues to transform collective structures, systems, and assumptions. As larger social and cultural shifts unfold, questions of personal stability and security may feel increasingly urgent. At the same time, Chiron forms supportive connections to both the Sun in Gemini and the North Node in Pisces. These aspects suggest that flexibility, curiosity, intuition, and experience may be more useful than perfectionism. Not every question needs an immediate answer. Not every uncertainty requires a solution. Sometimes a new transit asks us to sit with a question before we rush towards certainty. One final note: Chiron's journey into Taurus is not a simple, one-way trip. On August 3rd, Chiron stations retrograde and eventually returns to Aries for one final review. It will station direct in January 2027 and re-enter Taurus permanently in April 2027, until April 2033. Think of this first ingress as an introduction, rather than a conclusion. The themes are arriving now, but the story is only beginning. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe so you don't miss future astrology updates. And if you'd like a more personal look at how these transits are showing up in your chart, you'll find links to my reports and services below. Until next time.